Alien vs. Predator for the Super Nintendo is a side-scrolling beat-em-up action game. You get to play as the Predator, who is on a mission to punch all of the xenomorphs on a human colony. The game takes you into outer space on a ship, and then ultimately to the source of the alien xenomorph Scourge, where you fight the Queen Alien on their homeworld. This game has a lot of nostalgia for me. The Christmas that I got my Super Nintendo, and I would have to guess around 1993, maybe 1994 or so. After I got my Super Nintendo, it came with the pack-in Super Mario World, but my dad took me to Myers, which is a Midwest-based grocery store that at the time had a video rental store inside of it. And I still remember looking through the games. I loved Predator when I was a kid, and I saw the Predator punching the shit out of this xenomorph, and I was like, I need this game. And still remember my dad talking to the girl running the rental booth or whatever, saying, hey, you got a Super Nintendo, you got to get some Super Nintendo games. And it's like, right on, that is true. So I took this home, spent some time with it, and thought it was okay. But how does the game hold up now that I'm an adult with more sophisticated taste in video games? Not that well. This is pretty much the definition of mediocre. It's not terrible, but it's not that good either. The backgrounds of the levels, not that interesting to look at. There's only a few enemy types. The gameplay is not that sophisticated. You get a series of punches. You can grab and throw the enemies, but it's pretty difficult to pull off, especially with these squat little xenomorphs that jump at you with their, like, ridiculously long-looking arms. You do get the shoulder-mounted cannon, which I ended up just cheesing most of the game with. You hold down the button to charge it up, and as long as you let go before it's fully charged, it'll shoot a regular blast. And then if you hold it down for an extended period of time, it will fully charge and you'll get a screen-clearing attack. So be careful. There's no limit to the amount of times you can use the shoulder-mounted cannon, but it kind of makes the game feel cheap. I wish there was a little more nuance to the gameplay. The final boss was very frustrating. It would get into this fit of slapping, and you couldn't escape it. There's nothing you could do. And I had it drain pretty much the entire life bar from full life to dead. And there was nothing I could do to get out of that pattern. It was just slapping frantically. So that's what I'm talking about. There's just not a lot of depth to the gameplay. The game also commits the cardinal sin of side-scrolling beat-em-ups. It is single-player only. You can take a game that's as bland and mediocre as this and turn it up into a pretty good time if you got a buddy. Some of the things that are on the positive side in regards to this title, you get to play as the Predator. That's pretty cool. You can do a jump kick. That's neat, I guess. The shoulder buttons, you do kind of a slide move to take out the face huggers that are crawling along the ground and destroy the alien eggs. You can pick up some of the Predator's most famous weapons, like the spear, the disc blade. There are health power-ups that seem to come out at the right time. Like when your health's running low, an enemy will usually throw out a health item or two, which is good, I suppose. There's an invisibility move, which, you know, if the aliens are just messing you up, it can give you a moment of reprieve. So, I mean, the game's okay. I wouldn't go out of my way to get it, but if you saw it at a yard sale for $1, sure, pick it up and, you know, play it. I technically couldn't beat this game. I did play through to the end level, but the final boss just kept wrecking me, so I was going to put in a code for infinite lives, but first I went into the settings, turned up the amount of lives to 6, then used the stage select to get back to where I was, and then managed to beat it. So I didn't mark it off in my spreadsheet list of games where I keep track of the games I've beat or not. I don't feel that was a legit win, but I did play through the whole thing to see everything, and you're really not missing much. Once you get to the spaceship, the level design is just really boring and repetitive. When you get to some of the xenomorph nests, there's some spooky, like, dead bodies that have given birth to xenomorphs, and that was kind of cool. That stage looks neat. The first level looks okay, but you know, this is a very bland game. So unless you're just the hugest fan of this franchise, the Alien vs. Predator, there's really no reason to play this. The gameplay is very lackluster. Would I recommend it? No, not really. You're not missing anything here. But me, I like to dust this game off every now and then and mess around the first level or two because of nostalgia.